Patricia Thompson, and today we're going to be making squash pickles.
I already added my 8 cups of sliced squash and my onions, and actually all the ingredients are in here. My sugar, my turmeric, and it's been cooking for about 5 minutes. I'm just going to continue to stir it and let it cook an additional, it's supposed to cook for about 10 minutes to just kind of soften that up and let all those ingredients blend together. While we're waiting on that, I've already got my jars prepared. I'm using pint jars for these. They've already been sterilized because this again calls for water bath. Again, if I was pressure canning, I wouldn't worry about the sterilization part. Of course, they would be clean jars, but I wouldn't necessarily worry about sterilizing because the pressure canner takes care of this. However, because this is water bathing, I have sterilized my jars by putting them in the oven on a cookie sheet for 250 along with the lids and the rings. Pickles were the very first thing I learned how to can. Very dear friend of mine who does a lot of canning and actually hooked me up with some squash yesterday taught me how to make these squash pickles. The recipe comes from the ball book, and it's very easy. You're going to need squash, of course, bell pepper, pimentos, sugar, vinegar, of course, pickling salt. Okay, so it's all ready. It's been cooking for about 10 minutes. Flavors have come together really nice. Now we're going to put it in our jars. I've already started putting it in my pint jars, again, that were sterilized. Okay, we're going to go for a 1/2 inch space. Show you how that works. I'm going to try to get majority of squash and stuff, and I'll go back and add the liquid. I love making these because the colors are pretty, and they look really pretty once they're canned up. Start filling this one. And I'm just going to continue to fill them. Again, I'm going to drain some of the liquid off before I put the squash in. And then at the end, I will go back and add the liquid. Okay, so I have added liquid to it. Okay, I went back and basically most of the squash were gone. I'm going to get 6 pints out of this. So now I'm just going to take and make sure all the air bubbles are gone, make sure that all that liquid gets around all that good squash and peppers in there. Okay, this is very important. It also helps make sure that liquid gets all down because, like, if you look at this jar here, that liquid has dropped significantly since I started doing it. So I'm going to make sure I go back and add some more to it. Again, this recipe is in the ball book. Okay, they're called summer squash pickles. And again, I recommend, if you're going to can, to follow those for food safety reasons. Just going to go back here. I'll have to add some more liquid to this one too, but that's why we do this. These are really good, and the smell is awesome. My middle son loves these. He will literally just open up a whole jar and just slap them on a piece of bread and fold them in half and eat a squash pickle sandwich. So that's why I try to make them every year. Unfortunately, our squash this year did not do good, but the Lord blessed us with some amazing friends that hooked me up with some squash yesterday. So now I'm going to go back and add liquid. To do that, I simply put my funnel there, and I'm going to get my ladle. You can see most of my squash is now gone. All I've got is my liquid, and I'm just going to add a little bit. Okay, and I'm just going to keep doing that to each jar. All right, so I've got them all filled up and all at the proper height, headspace. So I'm just going to take my paper towel, and you've seen me do this. It's especially important because you don't want to go through all this work and not seal correctly. So we're going to wipe the lid around the ring, okay? And then we're going to put our lids on it. Again, I apologize. I don't have the magnet that normally this takes because my kids had it. I will be sure to get one before our next video. But I'm just going to put the lid on it. I'll tighten these fingers tight, and then I'll put them in my water bather. They process for approximately 10 minutes. After that ends, we'll take the lid off, and then we'll take them out and let them cool overnight.
That's how we do it, y'all. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.